It's been my pleasure to really be a part of the Fig Tree. I've been in Spokane for about 13 years now. And in that 13 years, I have had the pleasure of working with Mary Stamp and seeing her cover numerous different stories about me personally and other people that I know. And she always does an excellent job. She tries to really capture the human interest, to find out really the authentic stories of people in our community. And it's about making connections. It's about bringing and promoting understanding of people within our community. I think the Fig Tree is the only paper of its type that I've seen that really focuses on the faith perspective in an ecumenical way. And it does not necessarily try to focus on any one type of religion or background, but it really captures people trying to make a difference in the community. I'm really about promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I see that the Fig Tree has really helped to do that. It helps to promote that within our community because it really spreads the news. It spreads the good news for sure. And it really seeks out unusual stories that you typically don't find anywhere else. You don't find the interest about in many cases about the different faith perspective, how people are ministering to their brothers and sisters in our community, trying to make it better, whether it's dealing with refugees, whether it's dealing with people who are homeless, whether it's just dealing with people doing various aspects of ministry. And it's very interesting to read these stories and to find out what others are doing. As I am out trying to make a difference in the community, I find that by reading the Fig Tree, I can find other people to make connections with, other people who I might want to network with, other people who have things in common with me and that I might even try to connect with. And I think that's so very, very important. And without that, I would not be able to really make those connections. And there's so many people that I might not even get to know or to find out their stories. And I love the stories because people are stories. And too often we hear negative sound bites about people from different cultures or backgrounds or whatever. But when you really get to hear a person's story, it helps dispel a lot of stereotypes. It helps really to unify people in a way that we really need more of today, because there's so much division and divisiveness. But with the Fig Tree really helps to make people seem human. And it takes away the stigma, it takes away maybe the fear and the intimidation of the other. And I think so often we are dealing with fear of the other. And when we find out that people are just like you and I, then it makes it so much easier for us to embrace them. It makes it so much easier for there to be just an inclusive atmosphere. And I think that's really what we want in Spokane. I was reading the story in the most recent, I guess it was the most recent edition, it might not have been, but when they were talking about the difference between refugees and immigrants and migrants and asylum seekers. And that's something that I'm very passionate about, and I do, even with my work at Whitworth, I make sure that our students go to the refugee simulations and to hear about this, the simulations and be a part of the simulations. And I try to help them to understand what the difference are between these groups. And because we're training teachers and counselors and administrators, they need to understand, and then they need to understand what they can do in their individual roles to make a difference. And so that's really helpful. And then also there's another one on homelessness. And so that's another thing that, in terms of the work that I'm doing and teaching my students, helping them to understand what's homelessness looks like, how we can, really step in and try to help and make a difference. And so I can point to the fig tree as this is a great resource for you to find out more about those kinds of things, and also for you to just kind of learn about what's going on. And so I think that's one of the ways that we do it. And then I'm just been so impressed with how the fig tree's willingness to just cover important stories. When we had our Kwanzaa event, when the work that we do, trying to, my husband and I do with Wilburn and Associates, in trying to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion, and really giving us a front page story, that was just amazing, because it helped us to promote the work that we're trying to do within the community and reach audiences that in our individual field we may not be able to do. But people contact me because they say, I saw the article in the fig tree, and that made a difference.